Stoppers, our partners here at the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. We even have Fire Marshal Christensen here herself. Thank you for your partnership, since this was an arson case, as well as the family members of the foster side as well, who suffered significant loss. I do want to say as well and preface that the families do not want to be approached by media after the fact, so we will have individual interviews, but they're going to be with the sheriff as well as our investigative team. I will be sending out, or we rather will be sending out video of the surveillance, as well as individual interviews with Mr. Michael Foster, Colin's father, as well as Tina Taylor. Without further ado, I'd like to kick it off to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we share some very important information with our community. We stand before you with heavy hearts, seeking justice for Kelly Masrali, her son Colin Foster, and his girlfriend Cameron Richard. 3 lives brutally stolen on August 18th, 2024. This was not just a fire, it was a calculated act of murder and arson. This cowardly crime has created an unfillable void in the lives of those who love Kelly, Colin, and Cameron. We will not rest until those responsible are brought to justice. Our dedicated detectives have been working tirelessly, pursuing every lead. Today, we are releasing surveillance footage of a suspect, a tall, muscular individual entering a black 4-door sedan. We believe someone in our community recognizes this person or the vehicle. We know this suspect, this coward, also had help as someone was driving his getaway car. We implore you to come forward with any information, no matter how small it may seem. We are committed to using every resource available to solve this case. We owe it to the survivors and their families to ensure justice is served. We are grateful for our partnership with the FBI Houston. Special Agent in Charge Williams is here, which has enabled us to offer a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest of the individuals responsible for this crime. This reward reflects our collective commitment to seeking justice for Kelly, Colin, and Cameron, and their grieving loved ones, the survivors. You can submit tips anonymously through the hotline at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, which is 225-5324, or online at tips.fbi.gov. I would like to thank the FBI Houston and Crime Stoppers. Andy Kahn is here today with us as well, for their unwavering support. I also want to express my deepest gratitude to the families for their strength and trust during this unimaginable, difficult time. Lastly, I commend our detectives for their relentless determination in uncovering the truth. To the perpetrators, you cannot hide. We will find you. The families deserve closure, and our community deserves to be safe. Together, we will bring these criminals to justice and honor the memory of those we have lost. Briefly in Spanish. Buenos días, gracias por acompañarnos. Estamos buscando justicia para las familias de Kelly Masrali, su hijo Colin Foster y su novia Cameron Richard. 3 vidas brutalmente arrebatadas el 18 de agosto del 2024. Sus trágicas muertes en un incendio en su casa en Cypress han dejado a su familia destrozada y a la comunidad de luto. Esto no fue simplemente un incendio, fue un acto calculado de asesinato. Este crimen cobarde ha creado un vacío irreemplazable en las vidas de los seres queridos que siguen aquí con nosotros. No descansaremos hasta que los responsables sean llevados antes la justicia. Nuestros detectives han estado trabajando incansablemente, siguiendo cada pista. Hoy estamos publicando imágenes de vigilancia de un sospechoso, un individuo alto y musculoso que se ve entrando en un sedán negro de 4 puertas. Creemos que alguien en nuestra comunidad reconoce a esta persona o el vehículo. Sabemos que este sospechoso también tuvo ayuda, ya que alguien conducía su auto. Les imploramos que se presenten con cualquier información, por pequeña que sea. Estamos comprometidos a utilizar todos los recursos disponibles para resolver este caso. Le debemos a las víctimas y a sus familias garantizar que se haga justicia. Agradecemos nuestra colaboración con el FBI de Houston, que nos ha permitido ofrecer una recompensa de hasta $25,000 por información que conduzca al arresto de los individuos responsables de este crimen. Pueden enviar información de la forma anónima a través de la línea directa del FBI a 1-800-225-5324 o en línea en tips.fbi.gov chica. Me gustaría agradecer al FBI de Houston y a Crime Stoppers de Houston por su apoyo. A los sospechosos no pueden esconderse, los encontraremos. La familia merece estar segura y la comunidad también merece resolver este caso para la familia. Hagan lo correcto y entréguense. Juntos llevaremos estos crímenes antes de la justicia y honraremos la memoria de aquellos que hemos perdido. At this time, I want to turn it over to the lead investigator, Detective Wendy Posadas, for more information about the case. Wendy.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning. My name is Wendy Posadas. I am the lead investigator in the triple homicide arson case that we'll be speaking about today. On Sunday, August 18, 2024, homicide investigators were called out to the residence that was located at 14602 Plains River Drive in Cypress, Texas. Upon our arrival, we were informed 3 victims were located on the second floor of the residence inside of their bedrooms with defects that were consistent with gunshot wounds. During the investigation, the medical examiner's office conducted autopsies on the victims and was able to determine that all 3 victims were shot multiple times and were deceased prior to the fire starting. My team and I, we canvassed for surveillance video in the neighborhood, and we were able to retrieve video that captured the suspect vehicle as well as the suspect. The suspect vehicle was first seen at approximately 5:30 in the morning in the neighborhood, driving around for approximately 30 minutes. The vehicle stopped at the intersection of Watermill Drive and Palos Park Drive, where a suspect exited the vehicle. At this time, we learned that there was more than one suspect involved in this case. One suspect walked southbound on Palos Park Drive as the other suspect drove the suspect vehicle around the neighborhood. The suspect walked south on Palos Park Drive towards the community center, jumped the fence at the community park, and walked down the fence line towards the back of the residence. At approximately 6:05, the suspect entered the residence through the back gate and entered through the back door of the residence. There was no forced entry observed at the back door of the residence. The suspect walked up to the second floor, shot and killed all 3 victims, and intentionally set the house on fire to cover up the crime and the evidence. The suspect walked out of the residence at approximately 6:11 in the morning, walked through the community park, walked to the intersection of Cypress Wood Drive and Palos Park Drive where the suspect vehicle awaited. At approximately 6:14, the suspect enters the suspect vehicle and starts driving. The suspect vehicle starts driving eastbound on Cypress Wood Drive. At approximately 6:15 in the morning, the vehicle was last seen traveling southbound on Cypress Rose Hill Road towards 290. The suspect vehicle was observed to be a dark-colored 4-door sedan with chrome rims, chrome grille, and chrome emblem in the front. There was reflectors in the back bumper, and the third brake light was positioned on the lower portion of the rear window. The suspect observed on camera was a medium-built male wearing a dark-colored hoodie and long pants. We're seeking justice for the families of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin. There's somebody out there that knows something. We are reaching out to those people to come forward and call the FBI tip line or Crime Stoppers. I've been closely working with the FBI and Special Agent Brian Ritchie, whose expertise and resources have been very helpful in this investigation. The FBI has been able to procure a reward money for any tips that leads us to an arrest in this case. I will now pass the podium over to FBI Special Agent Douglas Williams, who is speaking on behalf of the FBI. Thank you.
So good morning. My name is Doug Williams, and I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI here in Houston. I'd first like to start by offering the FBI's condolences to the family of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin, whose life was tragically taken on August 18, 2024. So I am so sorry for your tragic loss. And I am proud and want to thank the partners that are here with me today, from the Harris County Sheriff's Office to the Harris County Fire Marshals, our partners at Crime Stoppers, and the entire team at the Harris County Sheriff's Office who is supporting this investigation. We're all working this case together, but we need the public's help to solve this triple homicide. Today, and the reason I'm here, is the FBI is offering up to $25,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspects who heinously killed Kelly Mascarelli, Colin Foster, and Cameron Richard. If you know anything that might help investigators, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. FBI Houston is committed to helping the Harris County Sheriff's Office bring justice in this case. Kelly, Colin, and Cameron's families and friends deserve all the assistance and support we can provide. FBI Houston frequently assists local law enforcement with a variety of cases. We offer state-of-the-art technology from our world-renowned FBI lab in Quantico. We sometimes embed intelligence analysts at local departments to delve into unsolved cases. And we have dozens of federally deputized local detectives and investigators who work alongside FBI Houston special agents to protect our communities every day. Despite all of these resources, we depend on the public's help to solve many of these cases we work. This triple homicide is no exception. The egregious and violent nature of Kelly, Colin, and Cameron's murders have led us to offer up to a $25,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of those responsible. Someone knows something about what happened on the night of August 18, 2024. Someone has information that can help our investigators solve this case. We need that person to come forward. If you have any information, call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Or if you want to submit a tip online, you can go to tips.fbi.gov. No tip is too small. And once again, the number is 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you for your help. We need it.
Good morning. Tina Taylor, Cameron's mom. It's been almost 6 months. It's been 6 long months. And I think all of our families are suffering. Three lives were taken for no reason. My 4'6", 82-pound daughter was shot to death for no reason. Her boyfriend was shot to death and his mother was shot to death. And there is somebody evil out there walking around. And they will do it to somebody else. And they will harm somebody else's family. They will destroy somebody else's family. And if you know anything, if you have heard anything, somebody even mentioned something to you, whether you know it to be true or not, please call. Call the tip line, call the FBI, call Harris County detectives. Nobody should be allowed to take a child from a mother or to take a son from a father and a mother, or to take somebody's mother. That's just horrible. And evil cannot go long. God is too good, and it will come to pass, and this person will be caught eventually. But we need everybody to call in, and if they know anything, to say something, because somebody else is going to die if this person is not taken off the street. So thank you.
Listen, in closing, I think you heard from Tina just how heinous this was and the impact still being felt by these families. And this is truly unacceptable. It was a heinous crime. These individuals need to be taken off the streets. This was premeditated. When you look at having a getaway driver, canvassing the location, trying to, burn the place down, after the brutal killings, this is unacceptable. And it's very rare to see a triple murder in a community. It's not something we see every day. And we're not going to rest and leave this unsolved. I have a full confidence in Detective Posadas and this entire homicide team that we have. We're very fortunate to have such wonderful professionals. They typically, if I'm not mistaken, have the highest clearance rate in the nation. But this is one that's unsolved, and this is one where we need our community's help. Let me remind everybody that morning on August 18th of 2024, yes, this happened early in the morning, but it wasn't so early in the morning that people were not out yet. People typically go walking around, they go get coffee, they're walking their dogs. Somebody out there knows information. To that getaway driver or others that may have been involved in a cursory way, look, come forward. You could either be potentially a witness to this or you're going to be a defendant facing a capital murder charge. But we need to get this case resolved, and we need our public's help. Our community always comes forward, does the right thing, and we're pleading for that help. Again, want to thank our partners for their investigative support at the FBI under Special Agent in Charge Williams and his team. They do phenomenal work. We work very well together. We're leaving no stone unturned, using every strategy, every technological tool that may be available, and to the fire marshal as well. Laura Christensen, thank you as well for you and your team and the partnership. We're all working together. We need to get this case solved. These folks have already killed 3 beautiful individuals. And as you heard from Tina, there's no telling if this person will go and just commit it again. There's nothing to lose at this point. So we need them off the streets ASAP. Thank you. Any questions that we could answer?
Have you determined the motive? I mean, were these suspects having any beef with any of the victims inside the house? I mean, have you figured out why they were being targeted?
Typically with this, look, our main thing is to identify who's responsible. I think that the motive will follow after that, but I'll let Detective Posadas, the lead investigator, answer any specifics if she has.
At this time, we're not able to confirm any motive. The investigation is still ongoing.
Were the victims having any beef with anybody prior to this?
Like I said, it's still under investigation, so right now we can't confirm.
Was there any evidence recovered inside the home that might, be connected to the suspect or anything that might lead to a motive?
We had some shell casings that were left inside of the residence, but besides that, it was there was a fire, so there was a lot of stuff that was, not there for us to.
What about information on the victim's phones? Anything that might, tip you off to who this might be, or?
We're still looking into that. It's like I said, it's still an ongoing investigation, so there's not a lot of information that I will be putting out there at the time.
Was the suspect, were they expecting anybody to come over that morning? I know you said there wasn't any forced entry. Did they know that somebody might be coming over?
At this time, we don't have any information that leads us to say that there was somebody coming over at that time in the morning.
Was a gun found inside the home or any weapons that were left behind?
There was a weapon found inside, but we don't believe it was the suspects.
Who do you believe it was?
At this time, we believe it was Collins' weapon.
Any other questions? I want to give everyone a chance so we could come back.
Can you talk about the brazenness of this crime?
I'm sorry, what?
The brazenness of this crime? Can you talk about?
At this time, we're not ready to release much information, a lot of information on this case, just because of how complex it is. So we don't want to give out a lot of information. We're just releasing the surveillance video at this time. Yes, sir.
Do you believe any of the victims?
I think the fact that 3 lives were tragically taken in the manner that it was, again, setting the home on fire and everything. We see a lot of things every day, but this type of situation is unique where you're talking about 3 individuals. Seems like a targeted attack on these individuals, and so that's what we're here, is to try to get answers. But it was very brazen, and to me, very concerning that these individuals are out there and could potentially harm someone else. And you heard directly from a family member just stating that's their concern, is they don't want anybody else to feel what they're feeling. It's been 6 months, and I'm sure they would tell you it feels like only yesterday to them, and it's very real. And so it's very brazen the way they would be, was so premeditated and canvassing, burning, location, shooting them in cold blood like that, just very concerning.
Have you had tips coming in, any substantial leads at all?
We've had several tips come in, and we're still getting tips at this time, and we're still following up on them.
Were all three of them targeted or just one person?
It's hard to, a lot of these, we don't know the mindset. That's why I was saying earlier that if we identify who the individuals were, we'll get a lot more answers as to what led to this. But that's why we're here, is we need to get more information. We've gotten tips. I check on this case on a pretty regular basis, and so our team is diligently working. I have full confidence in that, that they're gonna at some point be able to clear this case, but we need the public's help. Anything else?
What's it gonna take to solve this case?
That, a tip. We're gonna do everything we can on the investigative side. We're working hard. Again, we have a lot of resources between the FBI and all of us, but having been in this business now for a long time, sometimes it's just that small tip of somebody saying, hey, I saw a vehicle, I saw a partial plate. I saw somebody I heard somebody talking about this at a local coffee shop or something, or someone bragging about something. We don't know. There's at least 2 individuals, if not more. Somebody out there knows what happened, or to your point, if there was a beef that maybe wasn't very clear, that somebody could say, hey, I think there was a beef going on between these individuals. We don't have all those exact details, but we're hoping to piece it together. It just takes one tip. That's the beauty, and that's why we appreciate you and all our media partners in amplifying this message out there. And we're here because this is a community concern, and we want to get it out to our community. And again, we highlighted the FBI tip line, but also want to thank Crime Stoppers. They help us out on a daily basis with, with the tip line and advocating for public safety and so many other things. So please give the best to Rania and everyone. Thank you so much.